Hi everybody, Shane R. Monroe here, and today we're going to show you how to install, configure, and use the Amazon Games app, the digital locker, for all of those free Amazon Prime gaming games you've been racking up over the last year. We're going to show you how to install it. We're going to show you how to centralize all the games that you install so you can easily find them to remove later. And we're even going to show you how to run the games without the installer and put them all in their own dedicated launcher for Steam. All of this and more are coming up, so stick around. Hi everybody, Shane R. Monroe here, and today we're going to install this Amazon Games digital locker. We're going to start off by going to our browser, of course, and we are going to find the Amazon Games app for download. Now, if you do a search in your browser for download Amazon Prime Gaming, you'll probably land on a page that looks like this. And it says, oh no, you got to have a Windows browser to get this app. So we're going to go ahead and give you a direct download link. This will be in the description below. download.amazongames.com/Amazon Games Setup.exe. And again, this will be in the description below. Go ahead and download it to your downloads folder. And we're ready to go. Inside of Steam, hit Add Game, add a non-Steam game. Then hit Browse and go to your downloads folder and select the Amazon Game Setup. Then find it here on the left. We're going to go ahead and click the gear, go to Properties, change the compatibility, and we're going to set this to Proton Experimental. Always safe for these sort of lockers to use that, and we'll hit play. And lo and behold, the Games digital locker starts to install. Excellent. And it will launch and ask you to log in. Now, before we log in, we got a couple things to do here. First, let's open up our Dolphin file manager. If you have not configured your file manager to look like this with my Dolphin tricks and tips, you might want to take a look at that. We're going to go to the compatdata folder where the Proton prefix is for this game launcher. We're going to go to drive C. Then we're going to split the screen. And I have a games folder already set up on my external micro SD card. It's called Games. It's empty right now. I'm going to left drag that into that drive C. This is going to give me a place to install games within the prefix, but it's going to install them on the micro SD card. It's pretty slick. You'll see it in just a minute how this works. All right, now you're going to log in, but if you happen to be watching this video while this bug is still present, you get the black flicker of death. I have a separate video for those of you without a real physical keyboard to fix this problem, so I'll have that in the description below. You're going to have to go look at that one to get around it if you do not have a real mouse and keyboard. If you do have a mouse and keyboard, though, go ahead and open up KWrite, a standard text editor, and type in your credentials. In this case, my username, which is my email, and I'm not going to type my password on the screen. I'm going to copy it to my clipboard, and then I'm going to paste it in with a Control-V on the keyboard. Boom. Bypass the black screen of death. I'm going to take this off the screen, put my password in, copy that to the clipboard. Then I'm going to go back into this box and I'm going to paste my password in, bypassing that nasty black flicker of death. Oh, wrong password. Okay, well, let's do it again. There we go. We got the right one this time. And there we go. We're all set. We can go ahead and start installing our games, but don't disappear just yet. I'm going to teach you a few things here too. So we're going to go ahead and install this game, but instead of doing it where it wants, it's C Amazon Games, we're going to choose a different folder, which is this Games folder that we did a symlink to earlier. Now we do this to make sure all the games don't install inside the Proton prefix, because you might want to get rid of that in a minute and you're going to see why. In this case, it's going to actually download the installs to that Games folder that's actually sitting on the micro SD card. And you can confirm right here, there's Metal Slug 4. So at some point in time, you may want to delete the Amazon Games Locker once you got all the games you want installed. If you leave them to install inside of this drive C where they want to put it, then you will lose it. Now, if we dig through here, what we want to do now is find the actual shortcut to launch this launcher. This one's a tricky one. You have to dig for it. And of course, I will have a link down in the description below, but you have to dig to a weird place to find this app. Once we do, though, we're going to find the amazongames.exe. We're going to right-click it and select copy location. Because right now, this is still pointing to the installer. We don't want that. So instead, we're going to go in here. We're going to clear out the target. We're going to put a quote, paste, quote. Then at the bottom here, we're going to do the same thing. Quote, paste, quote. But then we're going to delete the exe. Now, this will make sure that the proper target and start in are there. And because of the double quotes, which by the way is broken inside the current Steam build, it will make sure that this runs accurately. If you don't put the quotes in, it's not going to run, and then you're going to be posting a comment down below saying, how come it doesn't run? And I'm going to say, well, you didn't put the quotes in. And then you're going to put the quotes in and say, well, I guess I missed that. All right, so now we've got Metal Slug 4 installed, right? And it's on the micro SD card, so we know that it's actually launching now, so that's good. All right, so next up, you probably would rather have that Metal Slug 4 launch all by itself instead of going through the Amazon Gaming app. Go ahead and add a non-Steam game, hit Browse. Most lockers, you can't get away with this because it requires that the locker itself run before the game runs. Little hint, I don't think anything that comes off of Amazon Prime Gaming is actually DRM'd, which means we can simply go in here, add the game as a non-Steam game, set the compatibility to Proton Experimental, and we do need to make sure, of course, that we have those double quotes, or the quotes inside of target and start in, which is not currently present. We also rename it to Metal Slug 4. Nope, don't forget those double quotes. Okay, the top one has it, but start in does not. Well, they fixed one, but not the other. Yay. So let's go ahead and make sure that these double quotes exist in both sides. You can see here that the path to start in looks right. So let's double quote the beginning and double quote the end. That's it. God, I wish they'd fix that crap so I could leave these out of my videos. All right, so now we're going to run it. Look at that. No locker shows up. You're not required to run the locker first. They just run. Could this just be an isolated case? Or if we try to install more games, will they all run without having to launch the digital locker? Because if they did, we'd have to be doing a lot more work here. But because they don't, we can simply download them, install them, run them as a non-Steam game, and call it a day. Okay, so what I'm looking for here is something that looks like it might require some sort of a sign-in or account or a login, something that would tie it directly to a locker, but I'm just not seeing anything that isn't some sort of a kind of a standalone, maybe, you know, an arcade game. Let's try this Kentucky Route Zero. I actually own this on Steam. We're going to make sure it goes to C Games, and we're going to install it. We probably need one more game just to be sure. So, I don't know. What else do we got in here? This isn't going to take too long. Let's get something small. We'll also install the Great Gianna Sisters. All right, so that's going to install too. So in the meantime, let's go ahead and hook up this Kentucky Route Zero. Let's go ahead and set that up as its own launcher. We can do that. And there it is. There is the exe. And let's go ahead. Okay, it's still installing. This one's going to be a while. So while we're waiting, we'll go ahead and we'll add a non-Steam game. Same as before. Hit Browse. Go find the install folder for the Kentucky Route Zero, right? Grab this and add. Bingo. Hey, wait a minute. It's not refreshing. It could be because Amazon Gaming is still running. I don't know what it's doing here. It's thinking. Don't panic because it'll clear in just a minute. In the meantime, we can sit here and slowly watch that. Oh, there we go. See, I told you it just took a minute. And here is Kentucky Route Zero.exe. Right. Let's go ahead and do our magic again. Set the Proton compatibility, Proton Experimental, and we'll rename it to this. Because it's already installed, it doesn't need a locker. This is really, really easy stuff here. I could type better, but I got a cat on my lap. All right, so there's double quotes at the beginning and end, and let's add the double quotes to the beginning and end of the start in. Great. Hopefully by the time you see this video, that'll be fixed and you won't have to do that. All right, let's go ahead and jump past this to let it finish installing, and it's done. Great. Just for fun, let's go ahead and run this Kentucky Route Zero before we add the Gianna sisters to the mix. Make sure Kentucky Route Zero runs, and it does. No launcher required. Direct run as a non-Steam game. This is great news. This means pretty much anything that Amazon gives you is completely DRM free. That's what I'm seeing here, outside of the downloader. All right, I don't even know what I'm doing here. How do I get out of here? There's got to be a way out of here. Okay, there we go. Yeah, get out of here. All right. One more to go. If at this point you know what's going on and you don't need to see yet another example, you could probably kick off, but I think you want to stick around because I'm going to show you that these games still run even when we uninstall the launcher. Now, there's a DirectX 9 and a standard EXE. These days, if you see DirectX 9, that's probably an older version. It's probably running DirectX 11 at this point. Same deal, same as before. We add the game EXE, we set the compatibility layer, set it to Proton Experimental, rename the game. You'll be old hat by the time you're done with this. Now, if you want my advice, install all the games first, then do these addings of the launchers, because honestly, you won't need the locker when you're done installing all your games. All right, so let's make sure the Gianna sisters work. Looky there. Ooh, what's that? That's a bad video that Steam can't play with Proton Experimental. So you're going to learn a little something extra today. We're going to teach you how to get rid of that problem. Okay, so let's go ahead and get out of the game. We need to change our Proton version to GE-Proton. This is not installed by default. I've got a whole other video teaching you how to install GE-Proton. Any GE-Proton will do. Latest is probably the best. And now when we hit play, you will no longer see that test signal screen because the videos will actually run. These videos that show those screens are actually running in a codec that Steam does not have a license to play. So legally, they can't play the video. They can't include a playback for that. But GE-Proton, not having any litigious issues, can play the video just fine, as you see here. So that's how that works and why that works. That was nice that that showed up. That was a bonus. I wasn't expecting to show you how to fix that because I didn't think one of these would have that. So pretty neat. All right, let's get out of here. We got a couple more things to do and I'll cut you loose here. So next up, since there's no DRM on any of these and they all ran outside of Amazon Gaming, can we just delete this? Let's find out. So we're going to remove it. By doing that, it just killed the entire Proton prefix. If you did not install your games externally like I just showed you, you would have lost them all right then and there. Now you know why I tell you to install them externally. All right, so now we're going to try Metal Slug 4. Fingers crossed. Boom. Yes, sirree, Bob. Everything is no DRM. Let's run the rest of them and make sure they still work. Kentucky Route Zero. Cue the Jeopardy theme. I'd hum it, but I'd probably get a copyright hit. Okay, that one works. Let's see if we have 3 out of 3 here. I'm not gonna wait. I'm just gonna close it. Get out of here. All right. And then Gianna Sisters was the only one left. See, everything's still here. Everything's safe and sound. All right, so we know that they work. I'm going to go ahead and just delete them and clear them out of here. I'm all done. So this is how you get rid of it. You delete the launcher and delete every game that you installed from the launcher. But just a minute. Wait, there's more. The games are still here. Of course they're still here. You didn't really delete anything. All you did was remove them from Steam. So now if you got to get rid of them all, you want to go ahead and get rid of that entire Amazon games folder, or of course, whatever games you don't want in there anymore. That's it. Listen, it's been a long video. I hope you stuck around. If this helped you out, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, hit that bell, and be notified of our future videos. I'm Shane R. Monroe. Thanks so much for watching. As always, take care.